lovely to see you again today. Thank you for joining us. And here we are, Gap at Home. And here's Joey. Hello, Joey. You enjoying our Gap at Home sessions in this very, very special week, Holy Week? Joey says he does. I hope you are too. And there's no getting away from it. Today is a really sad story. And here we are out in the garden. And yes, the aeroplanes are going overhead. Not many of them, but we do have aeroplanes. Why are we out here? Well, the weather's really nice. Why not be outside? And part of the story today happens out in a garden. So here we all are out in the garden. So it's a sad story, but we need to hear the whole story if we're going to know properly about how much God loves us. Sometimes we all do things that later we wished we hadn't, and we feel sad that we've ever done or said. I won't. No, I'm not going to. Go away. That's mine. Those are not nice things. They're not nice things, are they? No, Joey doesn't think they're nice things to say. And yet that's how we are sometimes, and it makes God very sad. Very sad. But before we start the story, we need to play a game. Why not? Yes, let's have a game. So here we are out in the garden, and I am going to say some letters or sounds, and you have to see if you can find things that begin with this sound. Do you think you can do that, Joey? Oh, Joey does. Joey thinks he can. So let me think. The first sound is S, like the S for sun. So do you think you can go and find something beginning with S? Off you go. And here he's back. And what's Joey got? He's got a stick. Well done, Joey. Yes, that's very good. Now, if you were doing this at home, let me see if I can think what you might have found. Did you find a spoon? Maybe you did. Now the next sound. Here we go. We're going to have P, like P for people. Off you go, Joey. So what did Joey find? He found a pebble. Well done, Joey. Yes, that begins with P. Now what do you think you might have found at home? Potty. Did you find a potty? The next sound. Let's think. Can you find something beginning with the sound G, like go? Go on, off you go. Oh, well done, Joey. Joey found some grass. G for grass. Now let me think. If you're at home, maybe you found a glove. Did you find G for glove? Last one. Ready? I want you to find something beginning with the sound. Off you go. Oh, Joey, well done. Thank you very much. He found me a flower. Isn't that lovely? For flower. And what might you have found at home? Maybe you found a frog? I don't know. Did you find a frog? You'll have to let me know what you found. Maybe you can send some pictures of some things that you found. And of course you can play that indoors or out in the garden, or if you haven't got a garden, I appreciate some people don't, maybe on your walk. Only if you're doing it on your walk, you might want to wear gloves. In any case, you're going to have to wash your hands really carefully afterwards. But you can still do it, even if you don't pick things up. You can look around you and you can say things beginning with S, like sun, or B for bird, or, so it's a bit like an I Spy game, or B for bee. Did you see that bee? Okay, that's our game. Thank you. So now for our story. It was night time. Jesus and his friends had just been enjoying their special meal together. But they were all feeling worried and sad. Do you remember? He'd said it was their last meal altogether. So they went to a garden, the Garden of Gethsemane. It was their favourite place. Even though it was late and dark, Jesus said it was time to pray to Father God. The friends all felt very tired. It had been a long day, and when Jesus walked a little bit away from them, they lay down and they went to sleep. Can you pretend to be asleep? Now put your hands together, because Jesus was praying. He was talking to Father God. He said that he would do what Father God wanted him to do, even though it would be very painful and difficult. And when he'd finished praying, Jesus went back to his friends and found that they'd all fallen asleep. "Wake up," Jesus said. "It's time." And just then the soldiers arrived and they arrested Jesus and they took him out of the garden. The soldiers took Jesus to the high priest's house. Peter followed and sat down by the fire that was in the courtyard. It was cold and dark. And whilst Peter was sitting there waiting to see what would happen to Jesus, some of the servants recognised him as being one of Jesus' friends. Peter was very frightened and said, "Of course I'm not Jesus' friend. I don't even know him." Jesus looked at him from the other side of the courtyard, and Peter realised that he'd done something terrible. He'd let his best friend down. He'd let Jesus down. At night, all night, people asked Jesus questions, trying to find out if he'd ever done anything wrong. But they couldn't find anything. Some of the people were unkind to Jesus. They laughed at him, and they even hit him. Early in the morning, Pilate, the Roman governor, asked the crowds of people what they wanted to do with Jesus. "Crucify him," they shouted. So the Roman soldiers took Jesus and put him on a cross. Jesus asked Father God to forgive all the people who were hurting him. In the middle of the day, everything went dark. Very, very dark. The darkness lasted for 3 hours, and then Jesus died. A man called Joseph took Jesus' body and carried it to a small cave. He wrapped Jesus' body in a white cloth, and then he put his body into the cave, and he put a big stone in front of the cave. Mary, Jesus' mother, watched. Mary wanted to be sure that she knew where Jesus' body was. I made an Easter garden too. It's one of the suggested activities that I gave you for doing for today. So you'll see that I've got the 3 crosses. So that's Jesus and the 2 men that died alongside him. And I've got the stone. The stone covers the big, well, it's only small, it's a flower pot, a little tomb here. And over the top I've got a pop sock just filled up with soil, and I've sprinkled some grass seed over and dug up some flowers that were in my lawn. And I'm hoping the grass will grow and it'll be really nice. I hope you have fun trying to make an Easter garden too. So how does that story make you feel? I expect it made you feel rather like the disciples. A sad face. They were very sad. But do you know this was not the end of the story? Not by a long way. In just a few days, they were smiling. And we will be too. More from that, of that on Sunday when Michelle tells us the next bit of the story. Bye for now.